What's going on, guys? Hope you all are having a good day. Boom. Let's make sure we get this on there. Bam. What day is it today? What up, FBA Outlaws? Let's pin that.
Wednesday.
What up, new demos? What up, Happy Hustles squad? We're gonna go over our 20 pair used shoes haul today. Answer any questions that you guys may have. We got a bunch of new shoes as well. We did a little midweek sourcing, and I want to make sure you guys can hear us loud and clear. What up, G Vegas reseller? Cut my ties, Texas Sparkles Boutique. Everyone's checking in. Can you guys hear loud and clear? We've got all the shoes right here. We're gonna go through one by one, but we respect your time and attention. So if you have any questions, put them in the comments below. What up, Erica Worthy? MSPXV. So today was half off day at Salvation Army in our area in Maine as well as in Massachusetts. We very rarely go all the way to Massachusetts to source Salvation Army locations. However, we were making a trip down to do some errands and to check out some new sourcing spots, so we figured we'd hit up a few of the Massachusetts locations. And it ended up being extremely fruitful. So what we do with our used pair hauls is we average the buy cost from all of the shoes that we get. So some of these pairs were higher, some of these pairs were obviously lower, but the average buy cost that we put into our sheets, what up, Jim Witten, is $11 per pair for this haul. Now, those of you that have been following us know that we always try to keep our buy cost for used pairs under $10, but these pairs were just amazing. We could not say no to them. So we're gonna go through each and every pair to show you guys the brands, the styles, the colorways that we pick up. Our goal with all of these pairs that cost $11 each, average buy cost across the board, is to absolutely worst case scenario, after all fees, after all shipping fees, after every fees from all the marketplaces, is to bring back in $25. So we're more than doubling our money. Some of those we will get more for, and some of them we may get $1 or $2 less, but the average is we want to get at least a $25 bill back from each and every single one of them. If you guys have questions as we go along, let us know. This first pair of women's Nike Air Zoom Odyssey, it's a bright blue colorway, original price point. And this is another thing we wanted to show you guys today. We're gonna show you the original prices on these, and we preach all the time about going on discount days, and we get dozens and dozens and dozens of messages of people saying pairs were $15, they're $20, they're $30 at my thrift. It's the same thing at the thrifts we go to, except we go on the discount days, which brings the buy cost down. So this first pair of women's 9 Nike Air Zoom Odyssey in this really cool blue colorway, these were $16 was the buy cost, half off is $8. No rips or tears, nothing wrong with the heel. You guys can't really see it because of the lighting, but we always make sure there's no rips or tears. There's still plenty of life left in the tread. It's very little cleaning. Nike obviously is a phenomenal brand. We went out on, we found these Kate Spade Ked shoes. We haven't done a lot of Keds, but every pair of Keds we've gotten has sold. So we went for these sparkly red Kate Spade Keds. Original buy cost $28, guys. The Salvation Army wanted $28. It was half off, so these came down to $14, but with the average buy cost, they came down to $11. We should be able to get $25 for
What
these.
size?
These are exactly a 6. Let's go in. Another brand that we do really well with is Saucony, and then these are the trail running shoes. These are a women's 9.5. And these are the Saucony Excursion TR10. Boom. Really cool bright colorways. Plenty of life left on the tread. What up, Resell Ant? What up, Woolsey? Checking in. What up, Dead and Kids Vintage? Plenty of life left on the tread. And the original buy cost on these was $18. Salvation Army is asking $18. Half of that is $9. Average buy cost comes up to $11. We put these in as $11. So clean. Sourcing clean shoes is the easiest way to clean shoes. I know it sounds silly, but you got to think through the labor that it's going to take in order to make them, to clean the profit into them. So here's a pair of men's 13 Brooks. We do really, really well with Brooks. Again, plenty of life left in the tread. These were $18, half off down to $9, but with the average buy cost 11. These are Brooks GTS 17. Again, these are men's 13. We do really, really well with Brooks. Plenty of life left. Original, always have their original insoles. You guys can't really see. We should have done a little bit better lighting. But they have their original Brooks insoles in there. Do you guys only price used shoes at $25? No, Reber, but we're trying to give people a general guideline. We price with respect to the market value. So on Poshmark, we'll price them probably around $39, $49, maybe a little bit more depending on the style. And on Mercari, we always offer free shipping, so we price them a little bit higher and give ourselves a little bit of room to negotiate or bundle prices together. But our end goal, our always our end goal is to price with respect to the market value, but bring in worst case scenario $25, so we're at least we're more than doubling our money. Solid sales. Oh man, I got 10. Did a clip here. If of my mess, boom, boom, boom. All right, we're gonna go into another pair of Saucony. Always love the bright colorways. This is a men's size 12 Saucony Cortana 3, that black and green colorway. Plenty of life left in the sole. Again, these were $16 was the asking price, half off, brought down to $8. These very little cleaning we'll have to do. We'll clean up the bottoms. We'll spruce up the side. We'll be good to go. Got those. Here is an interesting pair of men's Under Armour. Let me check what size these are. Where's the tag on these? Oh, here we go. These are another men's 13 Under Armour mid. It's kind of like a lifestyle type of shoe. Original buy cost $18, half off. That's $9. Thank you for the kind words. These are a men's 13. Do you not buy them if they don't have the original? No, we don't buy them if they don't have the original insoles. King's Closet, that's a great question. The reason we don't do that, we used to do that, when they don't have their original insole, we used to find inserts and all this other stuff. It gives the buyer another reason to want to return the shoes. Even if you put it in the description, you may get along with it. You still can be profitable and build a business where you put new insoles in, or you let the buyer know there's no insoles in there. It's been our experience that we just want to continue to source shoes where they're original insoles. It just takes a lot of grief off of our end. If for whatever reason you only have shoes that have no insoles, figure out what you can do with that by putting in insoles. Just make sure you're super clear in your description. Swank Spot. So the outlet, Salvation Army is running half off today, Wednesdays in Maine, and we found out today in Massachusetts, it's half off on Wednesdays, half off every color. So we got there when they first opened up. We drove 2 hours, and we were there when they were opening the door. Nike Freeze, guys, we do really, really well with Nike Freeze. You always want to make sure you're checking up in this area right here to make sure there's no rips or tears. Obviously, no rips in the heel. With Freeze, they're very flexible. The original buy cost on this was $12. Half of that is $6. Again, you want to make sure there's a really good tread, and that with Nike Free, there's a lot more give in the sole, so you want to make sure it hasn't been given too much. And usually what you can do is pinch all the way through and make sure that there's still a lot of sole left. Again, original insoles in these. These are a pair of men's 9 Nike Free 5.0s in that blue colorway. We will probably post these as a men's 9 as well as a women's 10.5, just because Nike Frees are sold between men's and women's. Where would you start looking for what brand styles that sell? Great question, the Night Watch. We stick with major brand names, Nike, Adidas, New Balance, Reebok, Puma, Timberland, Dansko. Look at the sold listings on the marketplace that you plan to resell. You can literally do, a lot of people don't do this, but it's the most important step. Do a lot of research in what styles and what brands are selling. You can literally look stuff up and see what's selling on that marketplace. And then when you come across a shoe like this Nike ACG Mid, this is a men's 8. We'll list this both as a men's 8 and a women's 9.5. You can look them up in used condition on that marketplace, and it'll tell you what they are selling for. A lot of the times when we source used shoes, our worst case scenario is selling them on local marketplaces like Facebook, OfferUp, LetGo, because there's no fees. And we know, because now our track record over the last year and a half is we know we can sell shoes for 25 bucks. We've sold thousands of pairs for 25 bucks. So if our worst case scenario is we're more than doubling our money, we can take some chances on some other marketplaces and then revert back to our worst case scenario. You know anything about old school style Adidas, David Beckham? No solid sales, not off the top of our head, but send us a DM, we'll try to help you out. When it comes to women's like boots and fashion shoes, any tips for brands clueless on women's styles? Search comps. I can't give you specific advice on a general question like that, but if you have look up those styles on marketplaces. These were really good. These were originally $5, half off $2.50. So this is a really good example of bringing our buy cost down while bringing the cost of these up, but it's still enough room to do so. New Balance, obviously, these are a pair of men's New Balance. These are, we went a little bit bigger, men's 13 Vizzy Prisms. Again, in this really nice blue, men's 13 Vizzy Prisms. Original buy cost on these was 16, half off, brought it down to 8. Boom. And everything, no rips or tears. The insoles are the original, and they're nothing going on in the heel. So another really good pair. We'll be able to double our money. This is a pair we've sold dozens and dozens and dozens of these pairs. These are called Nike Air Max 2016s. A little bit older version. There's lots of different styles of Air Max, but this specific colorway, it's kind of like a speckled white. This is a women's size 10. The biggest thing when you're sourcing Air Max or any Nike Air technology is you want to make sure that the bubble is not popped. And the way that you know that is if you give it a squeeze. You'll be able to tell right away, even if you've never done this before, if it's popped or not. If it's really difficult to push and there's a lot of there's a lot of pressure, that means it is not popped. If you squeeze this and it's super easy to push it in, it means it's popped, and you want to pass on those. Again, original insoles. You guys can see that. I'm trying to tilt it. No rips or tears. This will be very little cleanup. Original price 18. Half of that is 9. Boom. See if you guys have any. Why do you guys average the price across your total hauls versus just track each individual shoe? So official, Craig, you can do either or. It's just easier for us to bring in more amounts of pairs. So you're gonna see some of these pairs were a lot higher. For example, this pair of Air Max Sequence, they wanted 38 bucks for this. Half of that is 19. That's double what we would normally look for in a used shoe. And if we just purchase this as is and put it in the sheet as 19, it'd be very hard. It'd be a lot harder to make that profit. So because we're sourcing pairs so much lower, we're able to get a pair like this, which means more inventory, which means more opportunity for profit. It brings the buy cost of this down, but because the buy cost of the other pairs are so low, we bring those up. We're at a place where this now makes sense. If we walked into the store and this was 38 bucks and it wasn't a discount day, there's no way we would get these. But because it's the discount day, it's half off. It brought it down to 19. We're still uncomfortable with 19 bucks, but because we brought a large amount, it brings it down to $11. This Air Max Sequent is now $11. I hope that makes sense. You can do it however you want. If you want to do it, what? Oh, if you want to do it, I forgot to tell you guys the size. She's keeping me on point. This is again a men's 13. If you want to do it by individual shoe, you can do that as well. You just can't do both at the same time. You can't price those at 11 and then reprice them later. You have to do one or the other. Colorway is just another name for color of shoes. Renzi for the win, you two are inspiration. Thank you so much for the kind words. I know this sounds dumb, but what is a colorway? Thank you, Verchetti's Closet. Yeah, colorway is just another way of the color of the shoe. We picked up a bunch of Converse. You guys can't tell, but these are heavy duty. These are a women's 7.5 fleece lined. It's got the zipper in the back. Obviously the zipper works. We checked that. And obviously the front laces. These are some All-Star Chucks. They are heavy. There's a lot to this Converse. There's no rips or tears. They're suede. Boom. These are really cool. Original, what's on the other one? Original asking price was 28. It brought it down to 14, but with the whole haul, it brought it down to 11. Boom. Converse, we do really, really well with Converse. Learning every day. True story. Yesterday I got 10 pairs at 3 Goodwill. $6.50 each, Antonio. That's phenomenal. That is a phenomenal buy cost. Another pair of super dope Converse that we picked up are these. I don't even remember what they're called. These are obviously Chucks. These are a men's 13. These are fleece lined as well. They've got that killer tread. Guys, they wanted $38 for these. 38. This is why we go on the discount days. Half of that is 19. With the rest of it, it brought the buy cost down to $11. This shoe makes sense at $11. It does not make sense at $38. And honestly, it probably doesn't even make a lot of sense at 19. Your profit margins diminish, but when you buy in quantity, you can bring that buy cost down. Is this going to be a YouTube video? Mommy Thrifter, yes, we will save this and put it on our YouTube so you can look back as well. Black Sabbath Converse for $2. That's dope. Old school wholesale. That is a good find. Another style and brand that we do really, really well with are Reebok CrossFit shoes. Guys, they wanted $28 for these. Half of that is 14 with the buy cost brought it down to 11. These are a women's size 10, especially with shoes that are used to work out a lot more. Obviously, CrossFit, you want to make sure there's no rips or tears. Again, these are the pain points you want to see up near the ankle eyelets and then obviously into the heel. You guys can't really see that well, but you got to trust there's no rips or tears. Original insole, lots of tread left. These are obviously worn indoors because they're CrossFit, but these are phenomenal. We sell through men's and women's Reebok CrossFit all the time. Buy cost at 11, we should have no problem getting 25, 30 plus for those. Only got a couple left, saving some bangers for in the end. Timberland, we do really well with Timberland. Guys, they wanted $18 for these. Half off is $9. And it's still got the original tags and everything. Obviously, these have been worn. Let me double check and give you guys a size. These are a youth 5.5. So these are going to be a women's 7. It's super important to know the conversion. And generally speaking, 90% of the brands, there are a few exceptions. The men's and the youth is the same exact size. So technically this is a youth 5.5. It's also a men's 5.5. And women's is usually 1.5 sizes larger. So you just want to make sure that if you're getting, for example, a youth 5.5 or a men's 5.5 and then posting it or listing it as women's, that you list it as a women's 7 because 5.5 in men's or youth is a women's 7. You just want to make sure you put in the descriptions that it is a youth 5.5 which fits a women's 7. It's literally the same exact measurements across the board. Sometimes people get confused. What up, Romer? Shout outs from the road. It's been fun watching your stories as you're bouncing around the country. And you just got to make sure you're super clear in the description. These are one of the fold-over. We've sold a bunch of these fold-over Timberlands. Again, you want to make sure the tread is really, really good on these. The adventure continues. Your thrift stores are pricing crazy. Mommy Thrifter, this is why we want to show you guys. We go on the discount days. We travel through multiple states. You got to go to where the deals are on the discount days. No excuses. There's literally people doing this all over the country in every single state. I'll save these ones because I want to show you guys some of the cool ones at the end. We found these North Face. These are men's size 10. We do well with the North Face brand as always. You just want to make sure the tread's good. Anything with a Vibram sole is usually really, really good. They wanted 18 for these. Half off is $9. I did those and it worked great, selling a 7-wise women's 8.5. Point the buyer to the Nike sizing chart. True story, solid sales. Always use the brand's descriptions to reiterate your legitimacy when you're talking about the size. We've had people understandably being confused and talk to us and say, hey, I'm a women's 8.5 and I got this shoe and it says 7Y, even though we put in the description, even though we show the tag, and we say, have you tried them on yet? Because if you're a women's 8.5, these will fit perfect. And they usually respond, oh my gosh, they fit perfect. I should have tried them on. I should have read the description thoroughly. Just be kind when you're talking to people. Look out for these North Face men's and women's. They can withstand the test of time. Usually when you find them in the thrifts, they still have a lot of life left. Poshmark was the best thing that ever happened to the 6 man. Yo, for real, the first shout out to the 6 man. The first 3 months we were on Poshmark, I absolutely hated it because I wasn't giving it the chance. I didn't understand the language. I didn't understand parties. I didn't understand sharing. And then once I personally started listening to Lindsay, I started realizing how that marketplace works, and then I started using the tools that were offered, and it has been our #1 marketplace ever since. Game on. And now it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Oakbrook, North Face will sometimes honor the warranty on damage. True story. We haven't tried that yet, but we usually just sell through the North Face when we get them. Solid sales, good point. When you are sourcing pairs and you come across youth pairs, they're usually, the buy cost on those is a lot lower usually because they're youth pairs, whether you're in the outlets, whether you're in Goodwills, and so it's super cool to get between that youth 6, like a 6Y to 7Y, because you can sell them as a women's 7.5 or a women's 8, 8.5. Found these super cool Converse, guys. They wanted $12, half off for 6. Man, the lighting's not good with these. It's a really cool, bright colorway. You've got the rainbow. This actually is a women's 9.5. Again, really good tread. With Converse, the one thing you want to make sure, especially with the canvas type shoes, is you want to make sure in here that there's no rips or tears. And as you can see, there's not. This is super easy to clean. It doesn't need a lot of cleaning, this pair, but you also want to make sure that there's nothing going on the bottom. These are a super dope pair. We're excited to bring on Converse. Only 3 pairs left. Hope you guys are getting a lot out of this. I want to show you this triple black Nike accelerates. Usually on Nike you can see the name right in the tongue. These are a men's 13. As you guys can see, this today, there must have been over the last couple days someone who donated most of their men's 13 shoes. You always want to check in the Nike Air technology that there is not a pop in the bubble. You want to make sure there's no rips or tears. We do really well with men's triple black shoes. We do really well with women's triple black. They wanted $28 for these. Half off is $14. With the whole haul, it brought these down to $11. We should be able to get $25 after all fees are gone. Only 2 pairs left to show you guys from today's used pair haul. I found a pair of Echo Gore-Tex work boots, but I was stupid and didn't check the insoles. They're missing. In excellent condition otherwise though. So here, now make the most of your current situation. Look at the comps. You might want to price them a little bit lower than the comps on the marketplace, and make sure you're super over communicate that they don't have their original insoles. You might want to take a step further and show some brand new. You can get them for like $1 or $2 at Walmart. Say, we'll include new insoles, but just know that they don't have their original insole. Just over communicate. It's an honest mistake, but you can make something out of it, and then just make a decision in the future. Do you want to have to be able to over communicate that stuff all the time, or do you just want to source pairs that have their original insole? Make that choice and then go with it. What up, Buy Low Sell Hines? Huge shout out to Buy Low Sell Hines, who has put in a tremendous amount of work when it comes to Amazon, is getting mass ungated on some major brands. Yo, looking up to you in the Amazon world, my friend, and congratulations on your hard work paying off. We got to meet up next time we come through Merrimack. Guys, we found this pair of men's Nike Air Force One highs in that black and royal colorway. Guys, they wanted these look like they haven't even been worn. I don't know if you guys can see it. If you can see all the little, these have barely been worn. They wanted $38 for these. That would not make sense to buy a pair for $38. Half of that is $19 with the haul. These are suede. Everything is beautiful in these. Think about the thrift. These don't even, they have no smell. They've got the 1982 insoles. What size are these? I want to give you guys a size. These are a men's 10.5. That's golden. The men's 10.5 through men's 13 are absolutely cool. Yeah, the condition is crazy on these. And here's the thing. These were in the glass case, especially in Goodwill, Salvation Armies. They're starting to be a lot more educated in footwear, in everything. They're even creating their own eBay accounts, their own Poshmark accounts. And what they're doing is they're putting shoes like this in the glass case, as they should, because they are worth more, and then they price them a lot higher at $38. The average buyer, I'm not talking about the average buyer that walks in, when they see a shoe for $38, they say that's insane. I'm used to shoes being a lot more, and so that's when we strike on these on discount days. That's how it works. That's what we do in every single state that we go through. I found a pair of Air Jordan Nitro, $6, practically brand new. Had an offer for $180 already. Take that, Georgia Picker. If you don't take that $180 offer, you are berserko. See, in a situation like that, we'd probably sell them for 80, 90 bucks and build a relationship with someone, even though you could sell them for over 100, so that buyer comes back and buys more shoes from you in the future. But congrats on that find. Is the condition of the shoes at your Goodwill bins too far gone to source there? Oakbrook, no. Before I show this last pair, let me tell you a quick story. When we first started, we built our entire business going to the bins. It was about 45 minutes away. We would be there at 6:40 a.m. every morning because they open at 7 a.m. and there was a line, and we would try to be talking and sipping on coffee during the winter. And we would be there for the first 2 hours, the first couple rotation of shoes. We'd dig through all the dirty shoes. We'd sort out shoes that were missing, the insoles that had rips or tears, and we'd bring home 5 or 10 pairs. Our budget was a lot smaller back then. And we'd go home and we'd spend the whole day cleaning them, and then we'd list them on Facebook, and we'd set up deliveries for the rest of the week, and we would do that every single day. We were known as the shoe mafia at the Goodwill bins. So yes, we've gotten away from that because we're trying to source pairs that take a lot less time to clean, but we are not romantic to, we're not above that. We will absolutely go back. We've been back several times since we've stopped going consistently, just to say hi to people. It's a really, if you're within an hour or 2 hours, there would be people there every day that drove 4 hours just to get to that, to those bins, because they're not everywhere. It's a phenomenal way to build. You got to put your sweat equity in cleaning them. But old school, those of you, I'm 35 years old, those of you a little bit older, these are a pair of Adidas Top 10 lows in that plaid colorway. They wanted 28 bucks for these. Oh, they didn't. These were in the glass case with no label, so the guy just yelled, "Oh, how about 28 bucks, half off?" And we said, sure. They're not going to need a lot of cleaning. There's not a lot of drag. These are going to be super cool. We'll probably pair these with some of the apparel that we are creating. Do you purchase shoes from Plato's Closet? Absolutely. We go to Plato's Closet every once in a while to get some one-offs. Again, these guys, 11 bucks for these old school Adidas Top 10s. These are a men's 10. So it's a good size, a little bit smaller than the ideal, but still men's 10 is really good. Essentially anything from men's 9 up, but the ideal is men's 10 and a half. Yes, we go to Plato's Closet. We love going to Plato's Closet because the brands that aren't as popular for the younger kids, like Brooks, Saucony, Danceco's, they'll pick those up for a couple bucks, give the person trading them in a couple bucks, but then they will only price them for 9, 10 bucks. So they'll triple their money, but we can come in and buy really nice shoes for 10 bucks. A lot of the times the pairs that we get at Goodwill for a lot less are priced a lot higher there. They understand the market, so they're pricing a little bit higher. So the traditional Nikes, the traditional other Adidas, stuff like that, it's too much usually at Plato's. There's some one-off stuff. But then we built, what's up, Retail Recon? Oh, what up, Sid? Sydney was taking a little nap after cruising with us. Retail Recon is another individual, guys. He just jumped into the comments below. You want to be following him. He's down in Florida. He does exactly what we do. He goes out, he puts the time and effort in, he shows his hauls, he's got a ton of knowledge. And the reason we wanted to keep directing you to other people is to show you that people all over the map are doing this and hitting big goals. What's the highest pay one pair of shoes you've sold so far? Joe, we sourced from the Sneakers app a pair of Patriots, New England Patriots. Yo, say what up to Lindsay. What up? We sourced a pair of Air Force One RKKs, Ultra Flyknits from Sneakers. Got them for, what were they, $120? Got them for 120, sold them for 400. That buyer said, do you have any more? We got another pair off StockX for right around the same price and flipped those for 400. That's the biggest flip we've done so far, right? Oh, Buscemi. Sold a pair of Buscemi sneakers new in box today for 500. True story. Buscemi makes some serious, that's like higher end stuff. It's a lot harder to source those consistently, but you can get some monster dollars for some Buscemis. And he's a cool dude, the guy that created Buscemi. What's Rinzy? Rinzy is simply Ryan and Lindsay. A lot of people, when we first started, we built our business on Facebook. People just knew us as Ryan and Lindsay, and they started making jokes about how we should be called Rinzy. And then when we started to brand ourselves, we said, let's just call it Rinzy. I know, Oakbrook, I knew the jokes were going to come out when we started talking about the RKKs. You said, do the RKKs come with a happy ending? I don't know. There's no video. If there's no video, then it never happened. So let's keep that for another live feed. Guys, if you have any more questions, our goal is to continue to show. I know there's a lot of commentary out there right now about people showing their numbers, about people showing certain stuff. We want to continue to be as transparent as possible. There's no back end goal other than to surround ourselves with positive people that either are doing the same thing, want to do the same thing, or just are excited about their reselling and want to share that. So that's why we continue to share what's working for us, what's not working for us. Like, for example, here's some transparency. This is a queen size bed. It is in our living room. It is now a dog bed. We not only use it to like show some of the hauls that we're doing right now, but we've dragged this out when we got a new bed in our bedroom, which is way over there. And this beautiful little creature jumped on it and claimed it, so we couldn't throw it away. Jax, Jet, what were our previous careers? We've done a lot. Lindsay was running a handbag company. I was running a brand. We actually came together and met because my brand wanted to work with her company, and then we didn't want to talk business anymore. We wanted to get to know each other a little bit more. Long story short, we ended up leaving those brands and starting this one together. How many stores did we hit today? Honestly, we only hit 2 Salvation Armies. Yeah. We only hit 2 Salvation Armies and got 20 pairs total. It was 19 pairs at the first one and 1 at the second one. We did hit a bunch of Nike outlets. I take that back. We hit 2. 3? We hit 3 Nike factory outlets midweek, which is very rare for us. But we have been making some friends that work at the outlets, and they messaged us and said, hey, we're doing a midweek sale. And so we went and checked it out and got some pairs. Boom, Retail Recon, 43 pairs coming in tomorrow from a fellow reseller. That is what's up, building relationships with fellow resellers. We connected with a fellow reseller today. And as soon as those pairs come in, we'll figure out, we'll do a shout out, but we want to make sure those pairs come in are legit. But we're trying to build relationships with as many people as we possibly can. What up, Geek AYX? Different type of collab. True story. Retail Recon Solid Sales is in Florida. He's in the feed right now. It's retail_recon. Definitely check him out. Awesome dude. He's spreading the word about what he has going on. He does a lot of similar stuff as us, and the more people that are coming together to share what's working and what's not, the rising tide lifts all the boats. Send any extras to California. A lot of people are crushing out in California. No excuses. How much cash do you keep on reserves? Bring Obama back. It depends. When we first started, we had $0 and we sold the shoes in our closet. Then we built up a small buying budget, and our goal always was to build a buying budget that we could spend every single week, so we don't just spend all the money and then there's nothing to spend the next week. We always source really strict. Now, obviously, our buying budget is a lot bigger. It went from $20 a week, and then we built it up to $40 a week, and then $100 a week, and then $500 and $1,000, and now it's a lot higher than that we spend every single week. Respectfully, we literally on a daily basis know where we are at, and we never overdraw ourselves, but we push the limits, if that makes sense, to what we are comfortable with and what we can do as a business. We're constantly communicating with each other. We literally know to the day what's working and what's not, and as we see things start to fluctuate, if it starts to go down a little bit, we pour gas on what is working to bring that back up and then create a new plateau, if that makes sense. Yes, Mommy Thrifter, our dog, is so cute. Her name is Sydney with 2 E's. Yeah, she's on camera. She's just chilling. She travels so well with us. We actually bought a new used vehicle. It's a Ford Escape, and she gets the whole back seat. She's got a whole palace back there. It's actually more room than we have for the shoes, but she's look at her, she's falling asleep on on the live feed. How old were you when you started selling things, and can you resell used shoes? Entrepreneur, yeah, we just showed you the 20 pair haul that we brought in. We've sold thousands and thousands and thousands of pairs of used shoes. The answer is yes. First started this adventure June of 2017. We both have entrepreneurial backgrounds. I was, did the lemonade stands, lemonade stands, pogs, baseball cards when I was younger. Yes, you can resell used shoes. Jordan 11. Oh, he's reiterating. Yeah, it's the most chill dog. She's the most chill dog until she senses that someone is like not chill. It's the coolest thing, and it's been tested so like dozens of times over. If a chill person comes over, like our buddy Jared comes over, you guys saw on was it yesterday? No,
Monday.
2 days ago, we were creating some clothing, some one-off pieces based on some thrifted items, and we were nervous because sometimes Sydney just goes off and very protective, and our buddy Jared walked in. You guys should definitely follow him, Jared DeSimio, and she was totally chill. She was like, "Yo, what up, Jared? Like, let's make some cool shit." But sometimes we have little kids running around the neighborhood and they're little assholes, and Sydney like barks at them. And I'm not talking like I like most all kids, but some of these kids are like will throw rocks at your window as you go by, and Sydney doesn't like that. Best way to plan sourcing, trip, routes, and timing. McDonald's the Millionaire, love what you're putting out as always. Great question. We jump on Google and research the locations that we know we've done well. Goodwill, Salvation Army, Marshalls, Burlington, Nike factory outlets, Adidas outlets, and we'll start to map out within a couple 100 miles all those places. And Lindsay's really good at this, and she'll literally jump on Google Maps and start tracking, boom, boom, and you can set up stops. Well, maybe we'll do a video on this. You can set up stops and you can see what's the next closest stop. Our goal is to make every mile count, so we usually create like a loop. Retail Recon just put in the comments below. Route for Me is a great app. We haven't used that app yet, but we trust him. We do it manually. We're big fans of just team manual and map it out. We take a lined piece of college notebook paper and we say, here's stop one in this city, and boom, 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 and we go around. And we always leave room for flexibility with respect to obviously 5 o'clock traffic, 9 a.m. traffic through big cities, all this stuff. And we always leave enough room for flexibility. And based on how the route goes, if we are not as fruitful in the beginning, we'll start hitting more places. If we're super fruitful in the beginning, we'll start to say, hey, you know what? Our buying budget's going down. Let's hit the places that have more stops. So this area in Massachusetts has a Marshalls, a Burlington, and a Nike factory. Let's go to there instead of hitting this one Marshalls over here, if that makes sense. Have a good night. Thank you for checking in. We really appreciate it. Do you bubble wrap your shoe boxes before putting in shipping box? Only when we're shipping to StockX. We do bubble wrap shoes that don't have their original box, but if they have their original box and we're shipping to someone on Poshmark or Mercari, we'll modify a free USPS 1095, and it's literally the size of the box, so it's nice and snug. There's no need for bubble wrap. If a tag is worn on the tongue, do you still resell them? Only if you can tell what the size is. That's a great question, Tim20. If it's worn, but you can still read what the size is, game on. We'll do that as long as there's no rips or tears. If it's so worn that you literally cannot tell what the size is, we personally pass on that. It's another hurdle that you're going to have to go through when a buyer buys them. It also gives them some more ammo for a return because they can easily say, you can't tell what size these are. You might have given me measurements. You might have put them on your foot. But if I can't tell as a buyer, if it's not easy for a buyer to be like, boom, these are this size, we pass. Always appreciate the quality content. Thank you for the kind words. We got lots more coming. What's the furthest you've driven to source, and do you plan on going further? We live in Maine. The furthest we've gone is New Jersey south and Michigan west. But we had other stuff going on. We went over to Michigan because I was speaking at an event and I was going to propose over in Canada to this beautiful lady. So we had other stuff planned. That's another thing. You want to plan your sourcing routes with respect to maybe there's some family nearby. You can stop in, get some brownie points. Maybe there's lots of locations in that area. We definitely plan on sourcing all the way down to Florida and seeing our boy Retail Recon, seeing a lot of other people down there. We're definitely going to source. I'm putting this out there. We are 100% going to be sourcing in North Carolina because there's a lot of people making a lot of excuses in North Carolina. We're going to go down there and absolutely crush in North Carolina at some point. We're going to go out west. We're going to do lots of traveling. In 2020, we're going to start investing in real estate, and we're going to have to do a lot of traveling, so we're going to source for shoes. Are you going to Posh Fest? Mommy Thrifter, no, we're not going to Posh Fest, but we're going to give a huge shout out to everyone that is going. When you jump into real estate, are you going to do flips or rentals? That'll be for another live feed. Bring Obama back, but we're going to do rentals arbitrage mixed in probably with some flips. We're still doing a lot of research on that. Retail, can't wait to see you when we get down to Florida. We've got family down there, so we're super excited to connect with them and grab some lunch, do some sourcing with you. We definitely got to create some content when we're down there, my man. Super excited. Chicago has 5 Nike outlets. Oak Brook, you can guarantee this beautiful lady went to school in Chicago, so we're definitely going to be out there sourcing the outlets. We'll probably spend a night or two. Bam, just got a 5-star on Poshmark. It is a beautiful, beautiful day. Hope this helped, guys. We want to do stuff like this, show you our hauls. Again, be as transparent as we possibly can with what's working for us. We started from zero. We started from going full-time on day one, having no idea what we were doing and figuring it out. There literally is no excuse you could give us that we can't overcome. And if you're someone who's just going to give us a lot of excuses, you probably should unfollow us. If you're someone who has a lot of obstacles, but you're excited to get over those obstacles and you want to know how to do it, DM us 100 questions. We answer literally hundreds of questions every single day. It's our pleasure to connect with other resellers that either want to get into the shoe game, want to add shoes to their reselling game, are brand new, are thinking about going brand new, have a full-time job, want to do this on the side just to make an extra $100 a month, want to do this on the side to make an extra $5,000 a month. We are barreling towards our goal of $10,000 in net profit after all fees and after all shipping, after everything. $10,000 in hand every single month. We're really, really close to hitting that every single month, so we're pushing a little bit harder to get over that plateau of around 8 or 9 right now. But the adventure continues. There's enough room for all of us to win, guys. Hope you're enjoying your week. There's so much more left before the monster weekend. Enjoy every single step of this adventure, no matter where you are at. And if you have any questions, shoot us a message. Enjoy your night.